Services, Cross Insurance, Cedar Bus Line, Domino's, Down East Orthopedics, Dice Arts, First National Bank, Gatorade, Greenway Equipment Sales, Harvest Moon Deli, Hero Sports Grill and Entertainment Center, Holiday Inn, Pepsi, Pizzeria Uno, Ron's Movie, Saco Bay Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy, School Street Picture Framing Incorporated, Think It Smarter, U.S. Air Force, Barney, Buick GMC Mazda, and White Sporting Goods. The NCAA, Husson University, promote good sportsmanship by the student athletes, coaches, and spectators in today's contest. Request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated or grounds for removal from the Winky Complex. Fans, at this time, let's meet the starting lineups for today's contest. First, for the visiting Huskies. A junior goalkeeper, number 00, Eleanor Folsom. A sophomore defender, number 2, Janessa Foster. A sophomore forward, number 5, Nori Timmons. A senior forward, number 9, Emma Sampson. A senior defender, number 10, Ani Johnson. A senior forward, number 11, Brooke Carson. A freshman midfielder, number 12, Kaya Joseph. A sophomore defender, number 15, Taylor LeClaire. A senior mid-forward, number 20, Izzy Holberg. A graduate student midfielder, number 22, Jordan Cummings. And a senior forward, number 24, Abigail Chartier. Southern Maine is under the direction of head coach Bonnie Brown D'Amico. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Husson University Eagles. In goal, a sophomore from Lisbon, Maine, number 00, Maria Levitt. A junior from Farmingdale, Maine, number 1, Avery Baker. A sophomore from Pittston, Maine, number 2, Leah Bouchard. A sophomore from Clinton, Maine, number 4, Hope Bouchard. A junior from Winthrop, Maine, number 8, Maddie Perkins. A junior from Old Town, Maine, number 10, Maddie Arsenal. A junior from Pittsfield, Maine, number 16, Ella Louder. A sophomore from North Conway, New Hampshire, number 17, Tessa Capozzoli. A sophomore from Saco, Maine, number 18, Faith Tillotson. A senior from Winslow, Maine, number 22, Carly Ramsdale. And a senior from Winthrop, Maine, number 27, Abby Ross. The Eagles are coached by Caitlin Doloff, and she's assisted by Brittany Foster. Fans, at this time, we ask you please rise and honor America with a playing of our national anthem.
It's a sunny day here at Winkin Complex as the 3-4 USM Huskies prepare to take on your Husson University Eagles, who sit at 3-3. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Jacob Willett. We're glad to have you join us for this broadcast of field hockey today. Jacob, the Huskies are coming in hot right now with a 2-game win streak. The Eagles kind of on the other end of that situation with a 2-game losing streak. Only by 1 point in each of those games, though. How does each team prepare for today's matchup and approach?
Yeah, as we start with the Southern Maine Huskies, they're without their top scorer, Sage Drinkwater. She's the senior captain forward for this team. She has 6 goals in the season. She shoots a lot. It's going to be good to see how USM goes into this game without their top scorer and see how they can play without her. For the Eagles, they need to play good defense to start with. You mentioned that they've been losing by singular goals the last couple games, and they've won games by singular points. It's a good way for as long as the Eagles defense continues to play good defense, they should have a good time playing today, because Southern Maine's offense is not really that strong without Sage Drinkwater.
And the Eagles coming off of a 4-game away stretch where they have not played at home. This is their first home game back in a few weeks now. And Jacob, the last time the Eagles played at home, one of the big talking points was their midfield defense. In that first game versus Russell Sage College, Russell Sage didn't even get over the 50-yard line until the third quarter. Their midfield defense is very good. So if that's what they need to do to stay ahead in this game, you got to feel pretty confident. As we are underway here, it's number 10, Hanini Johnson. Sorry, that is Maddie Rissenal, and it's out of bounds there. It'll go the other way. We saw the Eagles struggle a little bit on offense in their last home game to struggle to get things going. Their first game they won 12-0. The second was 3-0. They dealt with a little bit more defense in that second game. As you see, the Huskies trying to find a way over the midline. A foul there from the Eagles. It's now Nori Tibbetts trying to take it up the field. And it'll be set at the 25, 30-yard line. And here's the first real opportunity for the Huskies, Jacob.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity for Southern Maine here. This is a game where it feels like it's whoever scores first is going to win this game. I know we're less than 2 minutes into this game, but seeing how you got to pounce quickly. If you pounce quickly, then more times than not, you'll have a better day on the field than your opponent would.
There's no better momentum than getting the first goal. It really can set the tone for some of these teams. However, both the Eagles and the Huskies playing very good midfield defense. We had the one opportunity inside the 30 for the Huskies earlier on. And so far haven't really seen anything inside that shooting circle. The Eagles are going to try and push it back down the field, but Tibbetts is able to get a stick on that ball and keep it down in their end. And that one's going to be a foul on Avery Baker, who is making a start today.
Avery Baker was a big part of this team last year. She was very good off the bench, and when she did start, she did bring a lot of momentum whenever she got onto the field.
Avery Baker, of course, a 2-sport athlete, really shines in women's lacrosse for the Eagles. The top goal scorer of the last 2 years for that women's lacrosse squad, as the ball is now inside that shooting circle close to the net. Eagles desperately trying to get it out. Going to be pushed towards the sideline and just barely able to get it out. Wow, what a great play there from this Eagles defense.
Yeah, that was a great to keep possession of the ball and turn it into some offense as we see the Eagles crossing over the 50-yard line here.
Tessa Capozzoli able to get it up to a teammate, and now the Eagles are pushing down the field. We'll see what their first attack is looking like. We've got 3 Eagles inside the box, each defended by 1 defender for this Husky squad. It'll be pushed out to the far side. And the Huskies try and make a play to get it back down the field. Goes out of bounds.
Big opportunity here for the Eagles. It's one of the stories of this game. We're going to see a lot of good opportunities for both sides. It's just seeing how they're able to capitalize on these set opportunities.
And we talked about that momentum and what that can do for a team. However, on this possession, the Eagles will get another penalty or another foul, and it'll go back the other way. Jacob, we're seeing that early on here, kind of just a little bit of I don't know if it's nerves or what it is, but we're seeing a lot of violations early on in this game. Of course, field hockey, one of the sports where the possession really never really lasts. You have to, it changes over very quickly. It takes a special drive to get the ball down into the shooting circle, as we'll get another foul here, and it'll be the first penalty corner opportunity for the Eagles.
This is a big opportunity. Penalty corners in field hockey, they're really the way that majority of goals happen in field hockey.
And as far as penalty corners go, they have had 76 opportunities through 6 games so far this season. The first 2 games, each over 20 opportunities. So safe to say, Jacob, they've had plenty of practice here.
Very much so. Faith Tillotson's going to be the one to insert. She did a lot of the inserting last year, too. We'll see if they can work something together here and put one in the back of the net.
We often see Tillotson as that inbounder, and we'll see where she decides to go with it here. Going to push it out towards the middle of the field. And she'll ultimately get it to Avery Baker as the ball moves around inside. A great save there by the goaltender Folsom, and it's heading back the other way.
It was good defense there by the Huskies to stop the momentum for the Eagles off the penalty corner.
And now the Eagles will retain possession. Something I find very interesting about the sport of field hockey, Jacob, is just the amount of pressure that there is on defense. Most of the time, you're seeing a 1-on-2 situation with the ball carrier, as we have right here. Makes it in a game that's already hard because you have to bring the ball down the field with one side of the stick. You can't use that rounded edge. Makes it so much more difficult because you got 2 defenders on you at all times at least.
Absolutely, and we see with field hockey, you kind of can get away with doing 2-on-1s because in like basketball per se or soccer per se, you're going to have someone wide open, and that usually leads to scoring opportunities. But for field hockey, you got to go the whole length of the field down to get a goal. Being able to have the 2-on-1 pressure, you're more likely able to leave that one person away and not be punished for it.
Similar to football, it's 100 yards across this field here as the ball is going to go inside the shooting circle, and the Huskies are going to try and defend it here. It's pushed into the corner and out of bounds there. Ultimately, it was number 2, Janessa Foster, trying to make a play on it. And there's going to be another penalty corner opportunity here for the Eagles. This their second in just a minute. And I believe it'll be Tillotson once again inbounding the ball. And you got to think the Eagles have quite a few plays drawn up for this situation, Jacob.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw in the first penalty corner, the goalkeeper, Folsom, she plays very aggressively on these penalty corners. So it's easier to get that kind of backdoor play to put one in the back of the net, back of a wide open net.
And there was a shot there from Brooke Carson. Goes just wide, might have hit off the stick of a Huskies defender. And we're going to get another penalty corner. Must have been some sort of violation there. And Jacob, this is how the Eagles have really built up their leads, at least in those first 2 home games that I had the pleasure of broadcasting. They had so many opportunities from the penalty circle, as right here, here's Carson again. That time it'll be batted out of bounds by number 22, Carly Ramsdale.
I think if you're Coach Brown right now for USM, you've loved to see how the defense has been playing on these penalty corners. You know, penalty corners, like I said earlier, they're really good scoring opportunities. And so far, the Eagles have been over 3, which should be really good momentum builder for the Huskies.
It's surely promising that you know your defense can go out and stop a penalty corner when you're down a certain amount of players, and that I believe there's only 4 in the circle and the goaltender, as it'll be another turnover for the Eagles. And it's sent up the field. A weird bounce off the stick might have hit the rounded edge. The Eagles will get possession back here.
We see what they were trying to do. They're trying to play that ball up, trying to get the momentum going on the offensive side, because the last 5 minutes or so, they've been stuck in their own defensive end for majority of the time, trying to get something out, trying to get a breath, trying to work some offense.
Very difficult to clear, as here's a drive. And that shot was taken by, trying to see the number, that might have been Avery Baker, actually. Cannot see the numbers very well, that green on black contrast. Very difficult to see from up here in the booth, as the Eagles will force or have a turnover here. And here's Hope Bouchard trying to make a play, stop the drive from the Huskies. Now a double team here. And another foul. It'll be number 12, Kaya Joseph. And that one stopped by Ramsdell. A lot of early fouls in this game, as we were talking about a little bit earlier. And here's another one. That one will be on the Eagles this time. Possession will change.
That's one thing as a field hockey official. You kind of got to keep your whistle in, like, ready for the entire time. You can't really drop it because you're going to have to whistle. You're going to have to blow that whistle a lot.
A lot of action here in this game. Got to be prepared as a official, but also as a coach. Both these coaches have done pretty well so far, leading their teams to 3 wins. The Huskies, obviously, on that 2-game win streak versus St. Joe's of Maine and UMaine Farmington. And the Eagles really did start hot out in this game again. Versus Russell Sage had a 12-0 win and went on to win a few more games before losing their last 2 on their road trip to Castleton and UNE. There'll be another opportunity here for the Eagles. Like you said, Jacob, this ball is not really seen the other side of the field other than that first push by the Huskies. Eagles do a really good job of using that midfield defense to stop the clear from the Huskies. And as the Huskies, how do you approach that?
You gotta try and mix up your offensive attack. The Eagles have seen what you've tried to do on the offensive end, and they've shut it down. That's something that the Eagles do really well of. They did it really well last year. They're doing it really well in this game. So if you're the Huskies, you kind of got to mix up how you attack. You can't go the same way. You can't do everything one way. You got to try and mix it up, try and throw the defense off guard.
And a missed shot attempt is blocked by the Huskies. They'll go out of bounds, but they'll retain possession here. And we'll see what they try and do here. This time they'll lob it up over the middle. Might have been too high for the intended target. Eagles will get it back. And Jacob, I think if you're the Huskies, you got to start putting the pressure on here.
Yeah, you've gone through 10 minutes of this first period here, and we've really seen from up here that this Huskies offense really struggles without Drinkwater.
Drinkwater able to get it to Baker. Sorry for cutting you off, Jacob. Got to push inside here, and it's right in front of the net, and that one will go in. Eagles are the first on the board. And trying to see the number there, believe that's going to be Maddie Arsenault with the goal for the Eagles. And Jacob, they're on the board early. We talked about that momentum.
Maddie Arsenault putting her 6th goal in on the year. We saw, again, the aggressiveness from Folsom. She was way out of the net, and it led to Maddie Arsenault being wide open behind Folsom to put it into the back of the net with pretty much no competition as the Eagles go up 1-0.
And that goal was really sparked by Hope Bouchard and her push down the field, able to split through some defenders. It'll be a foul here on the Eagles. It'll go the other way. Huskies will knock it out of bounds. And we've kind of seen this game a little bit early on, where kind of at midfield, it either goes out of bounds, you're getting fouls. It's very hard to defend in this game, because if you touch any part of the stick or someone's body, it's a foul, and it goes the other way. This time, the Huskies able to get it down in their offensive zone before being picked off there.
You can see the energy has shifted here. The Huskies know that they're down a goal, and now they've really been trying to put that offense in. We saw 2 of their better opportunities here in the last 30 seconds after the goal.
And we'll see what they try and do here. Here's a long lead pass. Bouchard able to keep it in bounds. And she's quick. She's able to get past the defenders. Here's another opportunity. Makes a move. And this one will be knocked out towards the far corner. Able to be retained by Bouchard. Bouchard trying to make a move. Good defense there from number 4, Danica Halbert.
The Eagles have been doing really well in the possession game in the offensive end of this game. The Huskies haven't been able to take the ball off the sticks of the Eagles, which has been really good for the Eagles offensively so far.
And the Huskies will get possession back here. Bounces over the stick of Ramsdale. And this one's in front of the net. Goaltender on the ground. We'll have a foul on the Eagles. It'll go the other way. Good defensive stand there from the Huskies.
Absolutely. That time they brought more people in on the ball carrier, which led to not getting a shot off, which for the Huskies, that's kind of something that they got to start continuing to work with.
And another penalty here on the Huskies. That's sort of been their problem early on, is every time they get possession, they have a foul. And another one here, this time on the Eagles. A lot of back and forth so far. Eagles were able to get that first goal, take a lead, and sometimes a 1-goal lead can really not only set the tone for the game, but it's so hard to score in field hockey. Who knows if that's the last goal they're going to score? If it is, you're fighting to try and get one on the board, as we have a fight over in the corner on the far side of the field.
Yeah, as we're closing in the last 2 minutes of this first period, the momentum has been entirely for Husson here. They got the first goal, and they've been playing really good defense.
And here's an opportunity here now for the Huskies. A lead pass intended for number 5, Nori Tibbetts. That one's not going to go. We'll have a foul there on the Huskies. Again, just transitional errors for them. That one knocked out of bounds by the Eagles, though, so the Huskies will get another opportunity as we close in on just about a minute and a half left in this first quarter. A fight for the ball here. It's passed out to Bouchard. Talked about her speed and her quickness in transition. Great footwork there. She's going to push it all the way to the box before it's picked off there by number 2, Janessa Foster.
You can see what the Eagles are trying to do. They're trying to get Hope Bouchard in and try and play a ball in to the shooting circle. But most of the time it hasn't worked out, but you can see what they're trying to do, and they're confident in it that they want to go back to that play.
They've certainly got an offensive game plan in store, as the Huskies will try and clear. Another fight for the ball. This time, Eagles able to pick it off, and it's heading into the circle. Here's a centering pass intended for Jasmine Johnson.
Another penalty corner opportunity here for the Eagles with just under 45 seconds to go. If you're the Eagles and you put one in the back of the net, this is a real momentum shift going into the second period.
Yeah, being down 2 goals for the Huskies would certainly hurt them, as we haven't really seen them have a lot of possession on offense today. We'll see what their game plan here is. Again, so difficult to defend these penalty corners, as you only have 5 people in the box, including the goalie. This time they push it out to the middle, and that one's far to the right. And the Huskies with another penalty corner defense.
It was a good shot there from the Eagles. We saw that Folsom, she's getting 5 yards out from the net, closing down that angle, closing down the gap for the Eagles to try and shoot on.
Here's number 2, Janessa Foster, trying to make a move down the field. Will just push it out of bounds. Eagles will regain possession again. It's on the far sideline here. Try to make a centering pass this time. Huskies able to stop it, and that is the end of the first quarter. What have we seen so far out of both teams, Jacob, that maybe they can work on going into the second?
I think the Eagles need to try and get more opportunities. It might be crazy for me to say they've gotten majority of the offensive opportunities today, but they need to start capitalizing on more of these opportunities. They had, I think, 4 or 5 penalty corners, and they didn't capitalize on any of them. that's one part of the game where you kind of got to put one in. The penalty corner, if you go 0 for on penalty corner opportunities, then more times than not, you're not going to win a field hockey game.
Certainly, they've had a lot of practice with those penalty corners, and I'm sure they're hoping one of these times they're able to get it into the back of the net. And we will take a quick break as we head into the second corner. Don't go anywhere. Stay on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Jacob Willett. Jacob, we saw in that first quarter the Eagles were able to capitalize once on their offensive possessions. Still haven't got any from the penalty corners despite their opportunities. But the Huskies out here certainly struggling without Sage Drinkwater.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of the times when I was doing my research, a lot of the time the offense went through Sage Drinkwater. That's when they got a lot of their opportunities into their own offensive zone. But without Drinkwater today, it's been very difficult for the Huskies to get over that midfield line.
Drinkwater, a senior out of Steep Falls, Maine, has 6 goals on the season so far, 2 assists, 14 total points, and 17 of 25 for shots on goal, including a game-winning goal. Certainly they are missing her today as we are underway with the second quarter. And the Eagles, once again, will get possession. Baker tries to send it up the field. That one picked off. However, she has some help here from Maddie Arsenault. And it'll be out of bounds. Eagles will take it. It'll be Baker. Nope, that'll be Huskies' possession. And they'll try and get it to the other side. Haven't really seen them with a lot of offensive opportunities. Seems like they're pushing the pace here, though.
Right now, if you're the Huskies, you really do got to push the pace. The Eagles have been very strong defensively, and another period of another shutout period would really drain the momentum and the confidence of this Huskies team.
Bouchard with another caused turnover there. Perkins will send it down the field. Looking for Capozzoli. And again, that double team pressure that we see in field hockey seems to work a lot. That time bounces off of an Eagles defender. And here's Sampson. Kind of a ice hockey approach to the clear right there, Jacob, as they go into their own defensive end to try and find some space. And they still haven't made it across the 50 here yet, but it seems like their clear attempts are a little bit more thought out this time.
Yeah, that first quarter we saw them try and lob the ball over top, trying to get into the offensive zone. This to start, both clearances they've gone around the defensive line to try and play it up the other side.
And an untimely error there for the Huskies causes a Husson Eagles possession. They're in the box. They're trying to get it around. That shot from Baker is off the mark. Good save there from the goaltender. And it'll roll out of bounds. Eagles will retain possession. And that's really been the bright side for the Huskies so far is their defense. They did let in that one goal, but other than that, on penalty corners, and right now they're triple teaming as will get another penalty corner opportunity for the Eagles. We'll see what they decide to do this time, how they strategize this play out as, like you said, I think 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 on penalty corners so far in this game. They've had a lot of practice with it through their 6-game stretch. We said 76 opportunities. We'll see what they decide to do here. This one out to the top of the net, and just wide is the shot from Avery Baker.
Another good opportunity for the Eagles. I think they've been getting, I think they feel like they're kind of getting boxed in on penalty corners because Folsom is so far out. It cuts down so much of the angle, and you don't really have much area to shoot on.
Yeah, they're trying to get that ball quickly as the defense came out fast, and that was actually number 8, Maddie Perkins, with the shot attempt for the Eagles. And we will have a Huskies possession here. See what they decide to do. They will go back or try to go back to that defensive end, but it's picked off there by the Eagles. And a great defensive play there from Leah Thibodeau. Unable to maintain possession, but definitely showing some pressure here early on in this midfield, something that the Eagles have done very well. Here's Bouchard. Dangerous on her feet is Bouchard, and she'll come up, center the pass. It'll be lobbed up. Baker tries to push it in between 2 defenders, but will draw the foul instead. It'll be another penalty corner opportunity for this Eagle squad.
If right now, if you're Coach Doloff, you kind of want to see your team put one in the back of the net here on a penalty corner. They've been unsuccessful so far today. You see the vision, but getting one in the back of the net is going to really boost the confidence of this team. It
has been a struggle for them so far, and really throughout the season. Again, those first 2 games, each with 20-plus opportunities on the penalty corner, and only a few of those opportunities going in, as Izzy Hurlbert was able to make the play there for the Huskies. And another penalty corner opportunity coming up as there was a foul in the shooting square.
Again, as you mentioned, the Huskies have been doing a really good job defending these penalty corners. We always talk about how the offense is doing on penalty corners, but the defense has been very solid so far tonight on the penalty corner.
That's a good point as it's pushed out to Perkins. Perkins with a slap shot and saved by the hand of the goalkeeper Folsom. And the Huskies will get out of their own end here for the time being. And you can see here, Jacob, the Eagles, 4 defenders in the area of Janessa Foster, ready to make a play on this ball. We'll see what they decide to do. Will she lob it up or pass it out to her right? She'll slide it through the middle to Ramsdale. Ramsdale will try and get it up to number 18, Nora Riley. And they're making a little bit of progress here. Now up to the 40-yard line. Here's Sampson.
Again, you mentioned the Eagles. They've got 4 defenders right around the insert on the sideline here.
I think that's what has made their defense in the midfield so dangerous. It's just the heavy pressure throughout. You don't see that from a lot of teams. Here's a centering pass. Went out of bounds before hitting somebody and coming back into the field of play.
That was a little different of an offensive approach. Instead of just carrying the ball into the shooting circle, they played one into the shooting circle before they got the ball off.
And heading down the field now are the Huskies. Potentially an opportunity here. And they're being pushed out to the corner. 2 defenders on the Huskies ball carrier. And that one, another penalty or foul on the Huskies. Eagles will get the ball. Jacob, I think if you're the Huskies, you got to start putting full pressure on in this midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, if you give up another opportunity, you're not going to be able to try and come back from it. Being able to push, try and keep everything central into the middle of the field. It's the nice thing about being on a football field.
And here's another opportunity for the Eagles. Down inside, centering pass, no one there. And this time the Eagles with the foul that'll take them out of the offensive zone.
Yeah, as I was saying, the nice thing about being on a football field is you see the numbers, you see the hash marks, the Eagles have been doing a really good job of going from the internal hash marks to outside the numbers and playing through the offensive way. The Huskies really need to condense the Eagles to try and stay into the middle of the hashes.
We've seen how well that's worked for the Eagles so far, and they'll go back to that approach again. 3 defenders this time. Somehow the Huskies able to get possession there before the Eagles will eventually take it over. And heading back down into the offensive zone are the Eagles. Haven't really taken our eyes off of this part of the field too much during this broadcast. As I believe that's Perkins on the inside. And a shot attempt is going to bounce over. That'll be another penalty corner opportunity for the Eagles.
Penalty corner for the Eagles. Faye Tillison insert.
Tillison will be inserting the ball from that left side of the net. And similar setup for the Eagles at that shooting circle to what they've had on their previous attempts here today. Got to wonder when they'll start going for a different approach this time.
As you mentioned, different approach.
And the Huskies defense able to get there quickly, and a great play and an opportunity to maybe drive down the field here. Bouchard, of course, so quick, able to get there, but the pass is off. Huskies making a move down the field, cuts back, passes it back, and then back forward into the middle to Leckrich, and out of bounds there. Pass intended for Brooke Carson goes out of bounds. And that's kind of been the story. When they do get it down to that offensive zone, there's been fouls or just unforced errors.
Yeah, that drive was a lot better for the Huskies. They've been working back and forth with players, finding that open player, getting to the next spot. The Eagles have been condensing on the person with the ball.
Another turnover there by the Huskies this time. Taking it to the far side is Capizzoli. Capizzoli tries to make a move. Ball gets stuck on the ground or on the stick there. And so now they'll take some time and just try to set it up. Here's Bouchard. Kind of wing it into the middle, and it'll go out of bounds there. Kind of just trying to get the ball into that shooting zone. No one in the area, though. As we're approaching just over 6.5 minutes left in this game, or in this quarter, sorry. Huskies with possession. There's number 8, Leah Thibodeau, trying to make a move. However, it's turned over. Thibodeau again with the ball. And another foul there. I think went a little bit too early before the whistle was blown. So they'll reset it back out at the 30.
Have a green card.
And a green card for number...
Green card issued to USM's number 15, Taylor Leclerc.
Number 15, Taylor Leclerc, I believe. Yeah, Leclerc with the green card, so she'll see some time off the field for a little bit here. Not really sure what the call was. However, the Eagles will be playing up now.
This is a great opportunity for the Eagles to put one in. You got the man up. It's kind of like a power play for hockey terms. Getting the extra attacker is going to open up the field a little more for the Eagles to try and put one in the back of the net.
You'll see them. They're kind of taking their time here. This time they try to force it inside. Ball's still loose on the ground. As centered to the middle, shot attempt there. Blocked by an Eagles or a Huskies defender. But a penalty corner coming up for the Eagles. And now this time, I believe it'll be number 16, Ella Louder. And Jacob still have not seen the Eagles capitalize on these opportunities. They have had so many in this first half. I'm sure they're frustrated to see none of these pay off yet, but I think you have to give credit where it's due to this Huskies defense. Here's Capizzoli with a shot, bounces off the goaltender, and another shot opportunity. There's Folsom. Folsom on the ground now. 3 or 4 saves on that attempt. That was all the goaltenders doing. Eleanor Folsom with a few really great saves from up close.
That was a fantastic series from Folsom there. She made, like you said, 3 or 4 really solid saves off her rebounds. Being able to continue to make saves off of rebounds, it's been what's keeping the Huskies in this game.
It was fantastic reaction time from Folsom. Unfortunately for her and her defense, the ball will be coming back down the other way. Actually, it's picked off. The Eagles will take it back again, and now a 2-on-3 and a penalty corner coming up for the Eagles again.
As we're here sitting just over 4.5 minutes to go, I think for the Eagles, you really want to put one in. Going into the half with a 2-goal lead instead of just a 1-goal lead, anything can happen in this game, as we've seen throughout the first half. Anything can happen. So the Huskies being only down 1 going into half, they're going to feel really good about where they stand. The Eagles being up 1 going into half, they're going to feel a little cautious, a little nervous going into the second half.
And here's Capozzoli with the shot, and it's just a little bit wide. Huskies will get out of their penalty corner gear. And to your point, Jacob, the Eagles probably feel pretty comfortable with a 1-goal lead with the way they've played their defense so far, but you can never be too sure. They definitely would love to put another goal on the board here. Here's Bouchard. We'll try and get it inside, looking for Capozzoli maybe, but blocked by, I believe that was number 12, Kaya Joseph. And just like that, the Huskies will get back in their penalty corner gear. Faith Tillison will insert. And we'll see what they try to do here. No one on the far side or on the close side near Tillison this time. They usually have someone set up there. This time it's out to Perkins. Perkins tries to force the ball inside. Nothing there. And Huskies once again will get a stop on the penalty corner.
It's really the story of the half for the Huskies so far is their penalty corner defense. Defense has been very solid, Eagles midfield-wise and the Huskies penalty corner-wise.
Both teams and head coaches should be happy with the way their defenses are playing. Of course, only 1 goal separating this game. But if you really look, the score sheet won't show it, but down inside the offensive zone, it has been a 1-team story. Of course, the Eagles really have had possession in their offensive zone throughout this entire game. And now the Huskies will try and change that narrative. That's number 18, Nora Riley, trying to get the ball into the shooting circle. Heavy pressure here now on Bouchard. Bouchard able to bounce inside. Get a pass off towards the middle of the field. We'll see what they do with it here. Full steam ahead for the Eagles. And cut off there. And here's going to be an opportunity if they can get it up. Here's a shot opportunity, and wow, what a save!
What a save!
What a save by Janessa Foster. Diving in front of the net. Oh my goodness.
That was arguably the best play we've seen this entire game. She dove from post to post, just barely got the stick onto the ball, saving a goal for the Huskies.
We had a shot there from number 14, Kyla Havey, for the Eagles, and I thought it was going in. And just an incredible diving save from Janessa Foster. Eagles, however, will retain possession. But that's the kind of effort you're looking for if you're the Huskies head coach, Bonnie Brown DeNico. And now back inside again for the Eagles. It's a pass back outside. And it'll be another penalty corner opportunity for the Eagles. Just cannot seem to get out of their gear and down into the other side of the field.
Yeah, like you said, it feels like they're taking the eye goggles off and then immediately having to put them right back on.
And this time they'll stack the top of the shooting circle, maybe trying to condense that defense a little bit more, not have them as spread out. Here's one to Perkins. Perkins will take the shot, and it's saved by Folsom. Another defensive team save, this time by number 13, Casey Mushlet.
I believe we're having a penalty stroke. I think that was the call.
And I think you're right.
Looks like Leah Pushard is the one taking it.
Leah Pushard with a one-on-one situation with the goalie. The most exciting part of field hockey coming up here. Pushard bounces it off the post. Had the angle on the goaltender, Folsom, but was unable to, just a little bit wide of the net there. Bounces off the post, and that is a game-saving save by the post for the Huskies, as they would have gone down 2-0 going into this second half.
Right there, that's one of those ones as a goalkeeper. You kind of got to bump your stick up against the post, give it a good old thank you.
And here's an offensive opportunity now for the Huskies. We'll have a foul there on the Eagles. This will be Brooke Carson. Oh, and the Eagles will actually, or the Huskies will have a penalty corner opportunity, their first of the game. Jacob, this is really where you got to capitalize. You could tie the game up right here.
Absolutely, especially with a minute left to go in the half. This is your best opportunity you've seen the entire game. This is one where you got to, as you said, you got to put one into the back of the net in order to go into the half tied and be able to have a little momentum coming into the second half.
And here's their opportunity. See how the Eagles decide to defend it. We'll see what the Huskies decide to do. This one. And it's scored off a deflecting pass. It came in from Carly Ramsdale. Did it hit off a defender or off of a fellow Huskies player? We'll take a look at that. That did bounce off of a Huskies player. Nori Tibbetts receives the pass from Ramsdale and just fakes the goaltender Levesque out. My goodness, we're tied. The tides have changed in this game. Momentum has shifted. And a game that looked like it was very one-sided, one single penalty corner opportunity puts the Huskies back in it.
Exactly. This is what I meant by earlier. The Eagles going in, they had a one-goal lead. Anything can happen in this game. We just saw it there, penalty corner being put in. Now the Eagles, it looks like they're panicking, trying to get another offensive stand before the end of the half.
Heavy pressure here from the Eagles as Janessa Foster was able to get it up. And more pressure as the goal scorer, Nori Tibbetts, the sophomore from Maine.
Her third goal of the year.
And that is the end of the half. What was once a one-sided game on offense, the Eagles really seeing all the possession on their half of the field. I feel like I didn't really turn my head away from that portion of the field the entire half. Now a tied game just based off of one penalty corner opportunity, and the heroics of number 22, Carly Ramsdale, and the goal scorer, number 5, Nori Tibbetts. An incredible ending to the first half, and we should be excited for the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good way to go into the half for the Huskies. You put up a goal, you tie this game. Now you got a little momentum going into the second half, trying to see if anything else can work in the offensive end.
And we'll go ahead and take a break for this halftime. We'll be back in 10 minutes on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Do not go anywhere. And welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Jacob Willett. Jacob, in this game that we thought was so one-sided early on, it is now tied with a shot there from Nori Tibbetts to put the game tied at 1-1. And before we move into how each team needs to adjust going on, want to correct a mistake that I made in the last part of that broadcast. Number 22 for the Eagles is Carly Ramsdale. Number 22 for the Huskies is Jordan Cummings, and she was credited with that assist on that goal from Tibbetts. And back to the game now, Jacob. How does each team need to adjust and really, I mean, like we saw the Eagles had a lot of possession time. How do the Huskies need to adjust to get more offensive opportunity, and how do the Eagles need to adjust to stop that offensive opportunity?
We saw that at that last little minutes or so, the Huskies had all the momentum, getting that penalty corner opportunity. That's something that the Huskies need to try and do. They need to try and get back into that shooting circle, try and draw some penalty corners. They're 1 for 1 on their opportunities, and the Eagles need to continue pushing them out past the numbers on the football field here to try and stop that momentum for the Eagles, Huskies.
And the Eagles with 15 shots in that first half to the Huskies just 1. That's resulting in the goal. 12 penalty corners for the Eagles to just 1 for the Huskies. As the Huskies will try and clear this ball out. A great pass there from Janessa Foster. It's coming up the close sideline and will be taken away by the Eagles. And Jordan Cummings now will try and make a play down the field. A great pass up to number 24, Abigail Chaudier. And a centering pass bounces off the foot of an Eagles player. It'll go the other way.
Another good opportunity to start the half for the Huskies. We've seen the last 3 or so minutes of game time. The Huskies have gotten really good opportunities in their offensive end instead of being trapped in their own defensive end for the majority of the first half.
And Capizzoli now will inbound the ball. That one given to Tillotson. And Maddie Perkins, I believe, is going to draw a foul there, and they'll have another penalty corner opportunity. We did not see the Eagles capitalize on any of those 12 penalty corner opportunities in the first half. I wonder if Coach Caitlin Doloff had a conversation with them and talked a little bit about what they need to do.
This is kind of a make or break scenario right here for the Eagles. You were tied going into this half. Your first penalty corner opportunity after going 0 for 12 in the first half.
Perkins with the slap shot. It was blocked there by a Huskies defender. Ball still in possession for the Eagles now. And ball touches the foot of an Eagles player, and so it'll be turned over to the Huskies.
Again, another good defensive stand. That was the story of the first half for the Huskies. They went 12 for 12 on defensive stops on penalty corners, and now they're so far 1 for 1 so far in the second half.
This will be Hanini Johnson getting it out to Cummins. And picked off there. A great defensive play from Bouchard. It'll be sent up the field. And ultimately it'll be a foul for the Eagles. It'll go back the Huskies' way. Sampson gets it up to Carson. Carson will take it herself. And there's number 5, Nori Tibbetts, with another opportunity and misses just wide of the net. Maybe mishandled the stick there on the shot. But Nori Tibbetts trying to go 2 for 2 on shot attempts and just barely misses. But Jacob, another penalty corner opportunity coming up, and the Huskies have already outdone themselves on offense in this second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely the momentum going into the second half was really what's doing it for the Huskies here. Getting a second penalty corner opportunity. Tibbetts snuck behind the back line of the Eagles defense. And now we'll see if the Huskies can capitalize on a second penalty corner.
And that was a great pass there from Cummins to Tibbetts for the opportunity there. And Janessa Foster with the shot attempt. And the ball will be cleared up the field by the Eagles. Up at about half field. Panini Johnson will eventually gain control for the Huskies. And Tibbetts again with an opportunity. Slips through the defense again. And this one's in front of the net. And the Eagles ultimately able to take it back. But now the Huskies, another shot. And we're going to have a foul. We're going to have a foul on number 11, Brooke Carson.
Two good moves there from Nori Tibbetts to get around the Eagles defenders to try and get another shot opportunity for the Huskies.
And back up the field again for the Eagles. As Janessa Foster tries to make a play there. This will be Capizzoli. Capizzoli will take it out towards the middle of the field. It's defended by Cummins. And it'll be a penalty there, or a foul there on Cummins, as it was not inside the shooting circle, but we are going to have a penalty corner opportunity.
I think that's what Cummins was trying to argue, is that it wasn't in the shooting circle.
Oh, and that's a green card. That is why we'll get an opportunity here. Jordan Cummins with the green card, so once again, the Eagles will have another opportunity being up a player.
Up a player here for 2 minutes. They went 0 for 1 on their first attempt with having the green card advantage.
Capizzoli with a slap shot. And that one is... And it's in! A goal scored there. We'll wait to see who that was. I don't know if you saw it, Jacob. Couldn't really read the number. It was...
Saw the first good defensive save. I think it was the same player that had the defensive save.
And that one is Carly Ramsdell. We'll give her credit now for the Eagles. Ramsdell scoring her 4th career goal, but first of the season for the Eagles. And the Eagles, just like that, back on top. And if you're the Huskies, the pressure's on. You got to get back down into that offensive zone.
You've already played with a good set of intensity coming into the second half, doing a lot more on offense than you did in the first half.
And that one will be knocked out of bounds by the Huskies. Eagles will retain possession. Again, we apologize for the not-so-swiftness on names for goals. It's very hard to see the numbers from up in the football broadcast booth. As we'll get another foul. And number 11, Brooke Carson, will insert the ball. Again, the Eagles with this 4-player defense around the ball carrier. And it's put up into the air and retained by the Eagles. Trying to slip through some defenders there. But now here's Tibbetts, who is very good at slipping through the defense herself. And there'll be a penalty or a foul there on Tibbetts. This one's going to be just knocked way out of bounds by the Eagles.
Again, we're seeing a different sort of intensity from the Huskies coming into the half. They've been playing really well so far in the second half. Got unlucky with a deflection on that penalty corner, but their offensive game has improved so much from the first 28 or so minutes of the first half.
The Huskies were definitely super conservative in that first half. Again, only shooting 1 shot that did go in, but we've seen them down in the offensive possession a little bit more. As here is number 18, Tillotson, and shot's a little bit off there. Knocked out of bounds. No penalty corner this time. I feel like we've been saying that a lot, that they do have a penalty corner. This time it'll just be set up at the 25-yard line. And here's Maddie Perkins inside, takes a shot a little bit too far in front of the net. It bounces off Avery Baker, so it'll go down the other way. Foster will have the opportunity to send it up. She'll just slap shot it up the field. And Chartier up to Tibbetts. Tibbetts on a one-on-one there. Now the defense circles in around Tibbetts. And they'll retain possession. And that one almost made its way to the net. Levesque, though, had her head up and was able to track that one down.
It's going I think it's going to be Huskies ball again.
And it will be Huskies ball, as I think that Levesque was a little bit outside of the net there. And as it hit her, Eagles get it back, and here's Capizoli taking it to the far outside, defended by number 9, Emma Sampson. And Sampson drops the stick, able to pick it back up. That one goes up to Tillison and eventually to Perkins, who had an opportunity at the goal. And it'll be a foul on Tillison, so it goes back the Huskies' way. And the Eagles will take it back into the shooting zone. Avery Baker has possession right now. She'll try and find her way through a few defenders. Still has the ball, able to get it inside to Capizoli. Capizoli with the shot, and a great defense there from Janessa Foster, who we saw have that diving save earlier in the game, has really had her goaltender Folsom's back in this one.
Had the defensive save in the first half, had the defensive save on the penalty corner earlier before it unfortunately deflected off of her. But she's been doing really well on the back end for this Huskies team. It's something that we see, only being a sophomore, she's got a long time to continue growing, continue improving. She's going to be a very solid piece for this Huskies team down the line.
And as a goaltender, you've got to really love and appreciate those players that get in front of the net and take hits from the ball without all those pads on. Very dedicated to the game, Janessa Foster is, and they'll be pushing it back up the field here. Here's Carson trying to make something happen. Splits 2 defenders, able to get around the third. More defenders await her, though, as Cummins inside, and that one scored! Nori Tibbetts once again with the goal, her second of the game, and her 4th on the season.
Another good offensive possession there from the Huskies. Tibbetts, both goals that Tibbetts has scored today, she has snuck behind the back line of defense and was all alone, putting the ball in a wide open net.
Nori Tibbetts having a great game. Like we said, 2 goals. And just like that, the Huskies are able to answer. Whatever they talked about at halftime, Jacob, is certainly working, as they've been way more aggressive on the offensive end. And Foster will chase that one out of bounds. It'll stay Eagles ball. It'll be number 22, Carly Ramsdale, inserting the ball here. We'll see what they decide to do, as the pressure is definitely on them now. And it'll be a foul on Tibbetts. Won't go anywhere, though. It'll stay right here, just inside the out-of-bounds line. We'll try and set something up here. Ball inside, bounces over a defender. And Maddie Perkins will try and make a move. And Tibbetts once again has it. We'll see what she's able to do this time. And it's knocked out of bounds by number 27, Abby Ross. Here's Hanini Johnson. Able to get it through a few defenders. Abby Ross able to get possession there. Ramsdale knocks it up the field. And ball's in the air. Here's Capizoli. Capizoli tightly guarded. And here's Tillotson. This Huskies defense doing a really good job applying pressure, but the Eagles are very swift and able to get through. Here's a shot attempt. And that one will go just a little bit wide. Might have hit off a defender there.
You see, we've seen from the Eagles that they've really trying to push the pace of play right now. They gave up the tying goal for the second time. They're really trying to push the pace, trying to build off, trying to get more, trying to stop the Huskies' offensive possession.
Well, and the Eagles thought they had it easy in that first half with only 1 shot attempt and really not a lot of possession on in their own defensive zone. But just like that, the game is tied at 2. And so, yeah, there's probably some sort of sense of urgency and thinking, oh, man, like we might have underestimated what they're capable of. So they're putting the pressure on now. Here's Perkins. Perkins will take it from the top. Will enter the shooting circle. Still by herself, and now here's Capizoli. Capizoli with a shot. That one blocked before the goaltender could get there, and Folsom will ultimately fall on it. However, We think we're going to have a penalty corner opportunity for the Eagles as we had a foul inside the shooting circle.
Penalty corner for the Eagles.
Right now, this is where all the magic happens here. If the Eagles put in one here on this penalty corner attempt, it gives them a bunch of confidence going into the rest of this last 4 minutes of this quarter and the whole next quarter.
Faith Tillison will inbound. Perkins will get it back outside. And trying to make a move now. And that's Baker attempts a centering pass. It's picked off. And it's going back up the field. It'll be number 18, Nora Riley, with the ball. And now it'll be inbounded after coming out of bounds by Kaya Joseph.
A really good defensive stand again on penalty corners for this Huskies team.
A change there. It'll actually be Emma Sampson taking it in. Attempted pass to Tibbetts, who has had the hot hand in this one. And Kaya Joseph has the ball hit off her feet, so it'll stay Eagles possession. And now here's Tibbetts. We'll see what she does with the ball this time. Passes it inside. It'll bounce off the body of Brooke Carson. And now Tibbetts might have another opportunity. Mishandles the ball. And good job by Abby Ross getting inside there and slowing down that possession. We know how fast Nori Tibbetts is and what she's able to do with the stick. Very elusive. And Ross able to make up some ground and stop that momentum. But the Huskies will still have the ball. It's Nene Johnson. And now picked off. Heading up the field now is Maddie Perkins. And I believe it was kicked by an Eagles player. So go back the other way. And this is more of what we saw in that first half, or really that first quarter. A lot of change of possession and some good midfield defense. But of course now we've got goals on the board. Back to a tie game. Here's Ross. We'll get it up to the midfield. Bouchard sends it up. And that one's going to be a foul on number 8, Maddie Perkins.
Again, change of possession. It's been really what happened throughout the whole first quarter. It's pretty much the same scenario. It's a tie game. It was a tie game at the beginning of the game. And possession's going back and forth. Each team's trying to get that one offensive possession to get into the offensive zone and put one in to go up a goal.
And certainly the Eagles and the Huskies both want to be the one to get that game-changing goal. Would take the lead, and you never know now. We didn't expect to see 4 goals early in this game the way the defenses have been playing. But here we are sitting at 2-2 in a game that once seemed very one-sided as Kaya Johnson tries to make something happen, able to get the ball up to a teammate. It's passed forward but out of bounds, intended for Abigail Charter. And back the Eagles' way now. Ball is inbounded, attempted for Hope Bouchard. Didn't get there though, got to another player. An outside pass is defended by Janessa Foster, who now has possession. Trying to make her way around Madison Wiley. Bouchard, who has been quick on her feet today with possession, unable to break through those 2 defenders there. Brooke Carson with the turnover. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. 2-2 here in this game. As we head into the fourth quarter, we'll go ahead and take a quick break. Stay here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Max Serm, joined alongside Jacob Ouellette. And we have a tie game here going into the fourth quarter, 2-2. Both goals for the Eagles, or for the Huskies, coming from sophomore Nori Tibbetts, who has had herself one heck of a game, only had 2 goals on the season prior through 7 games. Now doubles her number as we head into the fourth here. They'll definitely look to try and get it to her. Jacob, what does their mindset have to be going into this fourth quarter? What do they need to do to come away with the win?
Both teams, they got to realize it's a 2-2 game. They got to play with the mentality that this game is 0-0 now. It's a tie game, 0-0. Play it like it's your last quarter. Try and get that one goal, try and get that one offensive possession, trying to get that one penalty corner opportunity to try and put your team in the lead and put your team ahead and hopefully put it into the win column.
Each team will certainly be looking to make the most of each and every one of their opportunities. Again, just a lot of penalty corner opportunities for the Eagles throughout this game. 14 of them to be exact, to the Huskies just 2. And I think the Huskies did a really good job in that third quarter of creating more opportunities for themselves by way of being more aggressive on both offense and defense. Kind of threw the Eagles off guard, so it'll be interesting to see how they decide to attack this and how Caitlin Doloff and her squad look to respond to the quarter that the Huskies just had. As we're underway, fourth quarter. And the Eagles will get an early turnover here. It's sent up to Capozzoli. We'll take it down to the far right side of the net. A centering pass, and it's just kicked away there by Folsom. But a penalty corner opportunity. We talked about how each team needs to make the most of their opportunities throughout this fourth quarter in such a close game with such good defense. And so they'll look to do that here.
Yeah, absolutely. The Huskies need to continue to have good defensive stands on the penalty corner. For the Eagles, they need to try and make a different offensive approach instead of going straight through the middle each time.
And we'll see where they go with it this time. This time to the middle to eventually Perkins. And it'll be another penalty corner. Another opportunity there, kind of get to reset the play and try again. Be interesting to see if they go back to Perkins and to Tillison, or to Capozzoli rather, or if they'll go elsewhere with the ball on this one. Here's the insert. And it's out to Perkins. They really like getting it to her on these penalty corner opportunity shots, just a little bit wide of the net there. And the Huskies will take possession.
Tillotson was standing there on the back door trying to put that one in. If it would have gotten off her stick, it would have been, she had a wide open shot.
And a turnover here, deep in the zone, and unfortunately for the Eagles, we have a penalty or a foul inside the shooting circle. Ball hit Capozzoli there, so it gets reset, an opportunity missed there for them. Nene Johnson tries to get it to Tibbetts, who has had herself a great game. Would not be surprised to try if the Huskies try and get their offense to go through her with the type of day that she's having. And that time she turns it over. It'll be launched up the field in the direction of Capozzoli, but then turned back over. Johnson once again on that far side. She's going to run into some pressure here. And it's sent up through the middle. Maybe thought Tibbetts was a little bit closer, or maybe just trying to get the ball into a playable space. And that one will hit off the stick of Johnson. Go back the Eagles' way. And this one will be defended by Chartier, who was able to get around there. Now Janessa Foster trying to make a move. And taken again by Perkins. Now running up the field. And we'll have a foul there, so they'll take it even closer. A shot there. And cleared out of the zone by the Huskies. A great job by them there.
Good defense by the Huskies there. They had the opportunity. The Eagles had the opportunity on the offensive end, and it was turned away by the Huskies. So now they look to turn defense into offense.
Chartier with some attempt at some moves there to get around. She'll ultimately get the ball back. We'll see what she tries to do with it this time. Chartier tightly defended there by the Eagles. Decides to pass it back in the direction of Taylor Leckrich. And is now backed up into the corner. That was Leah Thibodeau trying to make a move over on that far side. Here come the Eagles once again, keeping that ball in their offensive zone for the majority of this quarter so far. And ball will kind of just be launched up. Oh, and that one comes down and hits a Eagles player. I believe that's Avery Baker. We're going to have a injury timeout. We'll go ahead and take one too. Stay here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Max Sturm alongside Jacob Willett. As Avery Baker was able to make her way off the field under her own power, we are wishing her the best. Back to this game. We have a penalty corner opportunity for the Eagles after that foul there. It'll be Tillison inserting the ball. We'll see what the Eagles look for here. Here's Perkins. Perkins with a slap shot just wide, was defended well by number 20, Izzy Hurlbert. And so the Eagles, or the Huskies, will get out of their shooting zone here, and we might have another injury timeout, and they'll send the trainers on again, so we'll once again take another break. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Jacob Woolsett. And we are back in action here after another injury timeout. A little bit of cleaning up the field going on there. That's why we had the delay. But back to action. Johnson sends it up to Chartier. And then it's picked off by Perkins. We'll have a loose ball foul there. As it hit off the foot of Tibbetts. Now the Huskies will push down the field. Picked off once again. We'll see what the Eagles' offensive attack is here. As Johnson is backed along the sideline, able to get it through. Here's Tibbetts. Tibbetts loses possession there, and it gets turned over to Ramsdale. Ramsdale sends it up the field. And was sent out of bounds. Intended for Tillison. Now Foster will send it way up the field. Here's Chartier. And that one just crosses the line. So it'll be sent back out. Tillison gets it to Capozzoli. Capozzoli inside. And sent back out. Tibbetts able to save it from going out of bounds. She's been quick on her feet today. See if she's able to get around these defenders. And that one, a good effort play there by Carly Ramsdale. The Eagles have possession. Sent back up the field. And number 15, Taylor Leclerc, able to control the possession there. A lot of back and forth, just like we saw earlier. Kind of really between the two 30s here is where we're seeing most of the action take place. And once again, another turnover.
Both teams are trying to get that one offensive possession, try and put one into the back of the net.
Aggressive offense and aggressive defense here in this game, as Eagles are going to try and clear it out here. But backed into a corner and eventually out of bounds. We'll see what they call it here. And that one's going to bounce off of Capozzoli and out of bounds. It'll be taken in by Jordan Cummings. Cummings able to get it through that first line of defense. And Kaya Joseph will get it up the field. That's number 8, Leah Thibodeau. Thibodeau with a centering pass, but it's knocked out of bounds by that Eagles defense. They have done a great job inside the shooting circle today.
Yeah, absolutely. They're pushing the Huskies to the end line, and the Huskies are trying to put one back in, and it's not. The defense is playing so tight up against the offense that there's no room for the ball to move through.
And they really have done a good job in that shooting circle, only allowing, I believe, 3 shots, 2 of them going in for the Huskies. So we'll have a fight for the ball here. And that's Capozzoli able to get there first. She likes running up this right side of the field. Attempt at a centering pass. The defense from Foster, too good though. And they'll get it up to Tibbetts.
Foster's been all over the place on the back end. She's done a really good job at keeping the Huskies in this game.
We saw multiple incredible saves from Foster on that defensive end. Here's Chartier. Chartier will try. Swing shot, that one goes just a little bit wide. Might have been intended as a pass. And the Eagles get possession back. Just over 6.5 minutes left in this one. We're still tied. Will we see an overtime period, or will we go and finish this in regulation? We'll find that out in the next 6.5 minutes here as the Eagles maintain possession and then turned it over. Here's Foster. Talked about her defense today. Now she'll get an opportunity to possess the ball. Able to get around Ramsdale And then up the field. And now you see the aggressive defense from the Huskies in that midfield portion, not allowing the Eagles to clear.
Huskies trying to push the pace of play right now, trying to get that one possession to get into the shooting circle.
And at this point, the next goal could be the game winner. That one inside, the Huskies will have an opportunity. And that one almost rolled through the legs of Levesque. Still a fight for it on the inside of that shooting circle. And finally, Bouchard able to clear it somewhat. We'll see what she does, able to split one defender. Gets up the field, finally just launches it forward. And it'll be Capozzoli who will now have her opportunity to press the field. And that one kind of just gets sent right out of bounds. Gonna reset the playing field for the Huskies. It'll be Janessa Foster taking it in. The Eagles front line waiting to see where this ball is going to go. Up through the middle. And Ramsdell was able to intercept that pass, keep it on the Eagles' end. Ramsdell again was going to have an opportunity, but I believe there was a foul for the ball touching part of the body. So Foster will have it again. And that one, I believe, was just hit with the wrong side of the stick. So it stays Eagles' possession.
This is one of the better opportunities that the Eagles have had in the last 5 or so minutes here. Being right inside the 20-yard line, right before the shooting circle. This is where the Eagles need to capitalize in order to go ahead here in this game.
And in the hands of maybe one of their best players, Perkins. And penalty corner coming up for the Eagles. This is huge, Jacob.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're the Eagles, this is the one. You've had a lot of opportunities so far today at the penalty corner spot. This is the one you have to put into the back of the net.
And that Huskies defense has done a great job at defending these penalty corners all day, only allowing one penalty corner opportunity out of nearly 20 to go in for the Eagles. They're very quick on their feet, getting out and making a defense. We'll see where it goes here. It'll be Perkins. Perkins from the top of the shooting circle, trying to make her way around, and it's picked off and cleared out by the Huskies. They have done an incredible job inside that shooting circle and in these penalty corners.
It will be penalty corner again.
And there must have been some sort of foul during the penalty corner. Might have been a wrong side of the stick hit from the Huskies, so they'll have to go out and do it again. Here you go, back to the top again. Once again, it's Perkins. Perkins will get it out to her left this time to Capozzoli, and a shot's taken and then rebounded. Another shot, and that one's going to almost fall in. What an incredible save by Jordan Cummins. 3 or 4 shots there. Folsom needed some help, and who else but Jordan Cummins and Janessa Foster there to make the play.
What a defensive stand from both Cummings and
we're going to have an opportunity here. Here's Tibbetts. Tibbetts, 2 goals in this game already. Centering pass inside. And Chartier is going to try and keep the ball in the possession of the Huskies. Tibbetts there to help. And it's going to be an Eagles possession. Good job by the Eagles getting back and stopping that momentum push.
As we go back to the other end here, it all started with a beautiful kick save by Folsom, blocked into the net by Cummings and Foster, turned defense into offense, and it was a real good opportunity for the Huskies there. Just couldn't capitalize.
The Huskies had a good opportunity on that end, but got to give them credit. They might have saved the game with those incredible efforts by Cummings and Foster. And now they'll have another opportunity here as Leckrich gets it to number 12, Kaya Joseph. And that one rolls out of bounds, so it'll be Eagles possession. Game of cat and mouse here for the Eagles and the Huskies. Just going back and forth and back and forth. Now it'll be Capozzoli bringing it up And Capozzoli gets it into the center. Here's Perkins. Perkins with a shot, and it bounces off a defender, but a penalty corner coming up.
2 good penalty corners back to back. The Eagles gaining a little momentum on the penalty corners. This is another one where you really have to capitalize here.
They've had a lot of opportunities, have capitalized on just one of those. Again, very hard to score in field hockey with the way the rules work around which side of the stick you can use. It's not like ice hockey where you can touch both sides of the stick with the puck. You can only hit the ball with one side of that. And here's a shot from Perkins. That one bounces up just over the net and actually lands on it.
That was a fantastic stick save from Folsom. She stuck the stick out, deflected up on top of the net.
And Folsom has been heroic here today, making a lot of saves and then getting some extra help from her defensive squad when she comes out of the net. And so here's the Huskies once again. Carson gives it up to the Eagles. And it'll be Perkins. Perkins splits a defender. Gets it inside. And that one will roll out of bounds too. And another penalty corner coming up for the Eagles.
This last 3 minutes has been some of the best field hockey we've seen the entire game so far. A lot of opportunities on both ends of the field.
Once a very one-sided matchup in that first and second quarter. Now a tie game with just under a minute left. The Eagles have an opportunity to take the lead here on a penalty corner. It's sent up to the top. And shot. And shot again, but a whistle before that. The Huskies will get out of their shooting circle. And running time, 40 seconds here. Huskies got to move quick if they want it, but the Eagles able to cause a turnover. Inside, Capozzoli. And that one's going to be another foul. Another game-saving foul called in favor of the Huskies. Here's Cummings, lays it over the top to Chartier. And at this point, if you're the Huskies, you're just trying to keep it out of the zone. 16 seconds left. And it's inside the zone, and who else but Janessa Foster on the defensive end getting the ball out of there. Capozzoli will have an opportunity here. Penalty corner with 3 seconds left in this game. And so, for those of you who don't know how it works, until that penalty corner attempt is over, the game does not end. So we have extra time here. Will we go to overtime, or will the game be ended here by the heroics of the Husson University Eagles? We'll find out here soon.
Fans standing on the edge of their seats. This is the biggest opportunity of the entire game for both sides. Final seconds.
And here it is. Up to Perkins. Perkins shoots, and it's still going. And they'll call a whistle. It's a foul on Maddie Perkins. And that is the end of regulation. We have overtime field hockey here in Bangor, Maine. And not sure what the whistle was there on Maddie Perkins. But regardless, we will head to overtime. We'll take a short break and be back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Jacob Willett, and we are in overtime. Overtime play for field hockey coming here in just a few moments. We have seen heroics from both sides of this game, from the Eagles and from the Huskies. The Huskies, multiple defensive stops on their side and some very crucial penalty corners that kept this game tied. Eagles had plenty of opportunity to take the game away, and the Huskies have kept themselves in it. Once a game where it looked like the Eagles had all the momentum, it is now shifted as we're about to get underway here. 2 10-minute periods or sudden death. We are underway in overtime as Chartier gets a centering pass to Tibbet. Tibbet up the middle of the field, and that one stopped. And Eagles have possession now. It's swung up the field.
Overtime is also played 7-on-7, 6 field players and the goalkeeper. So the field is wide open for this entire overtime stretch.
A lot more opportunity to make plays here as the Eagles had an opportunity there, but it's taken away by number 10, Johnson. And that one's going out of bounds. We'll see what they call it. It's going to go the Huskies' way. And number 22, Jordan Cummings, will have control of the insert here. Will she go back behind the line? Yes, she will. Dangerous pass as Capizzoli's on the way. Able to get it away, though. And Tibbets now one-on-one. Able to just shake the defenders a little bit, but they don't fall for it. And here's Brooke Carson surveying the field now, seeing where the opportunities are, is Johnson. Now 3 defenders closing in. Johnson's going to take it around the far side, centering pass, and Eagles the first one there, but here's Tibbets. Tibbets shoots, and it's blocked by an Eagles defender. Tibbets with another opportunity, and that one would have won the game. We've got a call here. We'll see what it is. Penalty corner coming up for the Huskies, and an opportunity to take the game right here. And I think the officials now will have some discussion, and that was a very quick discussion. They both agree on it now. And so it will be a penalty corner for the Huskies. And the Eagles have only seen 2 penalty corners from this Huskies offensive squad so far in this game. And one of them was let in as a goal. Tibbets will be the one inserting here. And so here you go. Game on the line for the Eagles. How will the Huskies approach this? It's given to Chartier. Chartier centering pass. And that one, goaltender's trying to find it. It was a stop made by the Eagles. Maddie Perkins in on that one. And so they'll get another possession. Another attempt to go down the field. Just under 8 minutes left in this first overtime period. Capizzoli is going to have possession here as she's going to try and outrun Janessa Foster. Foster does a good job staying in front of Capizzoli. And that one's across, just mishandled by Perkins. Here's Cummings. Cummings able to get around the first defender. And gets it up the field. Cummins knocked over. Surprised to not see a foul call there. It'll be Hope Bouchard inserting. And here's Ramsdale. And that one's picked off for the moment and then reclaimed by Capizzoli. Capizzoli did a good job getting back in front of that one.
Foster again all over the place on the defensive end for the Huskies. Comes up with the pick there.
And Foster, a sophomore for this Husky squad. It's very clear why she has gotten the playing time that she has. And they'll get it up to Tibbets. And they'll say that one went out of bounds. It's very close. Remember, if it goes on the line, it's okay, but if it's over, then it's out of bounds. Regardless, Tibbetts will get it back. And then that one's taken away, but they'll call a foul there. And a little too quick there. Didn't wait for the officials to be set. It'll be Hanini Johnson. Take it from about the 35-yard line. A lot of room to go here, but also a lot of room to operate inside. And that one gets through almost every defender and finally picked up. Here's Bouchard. We'll take it up the close sideline. Try to cut back inside, but it's going to hit off the foot of Carson, so they'll maintain possession. Now Perkins able to cut through two defenders. And here's this pass up the middle and in! The Eagles win off a last-second goal in overtime.
Beautiful offensive possession there from the Eagles. Working the 3-on-1, had the wide open empty net, put it in the back of the net. Great game of field hockey today here in Bangor between Husson and Southern Maine.
And that one is Maddie Arsenault finishing the game for the Eagles in overtime. What an incredible game we had, Jacob. The Huskies and the Eagles, both of them, seemed like either team could have won. The Eagles just were the first to strike down there on offense. A lot of really good passes set the Eagles up for that one. No one in front of the net. And Arsenault has maybe the easiest goal she's ever had in her career. She had 2 goals in this game. And on the other side, it was all about Nori Tibbetts with her 2 goals. Very fun and entertaining game to watch here today, Jacob.
Absolutely. That's Arsenault's 3rd 2-goal game of the season. Good fight from both teams. Great game going into overtime. Eagles come away with the win, come off a 2-game losing streak as they tackle their next opponent, which will be tomorrow at Colby College.
And they will get to that game tomorrow. And for the Southern Maine Huskies, they will be heading to Endicott on the 25th, and then Worcester State on the 3rd. And so it'll be Maddie Arsenault and the Husson University Eagles taking the win here today, 3-2 in overtime. For the Husson Eagles Sports Network, I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Jacob Woolett. And that is the end of the game, and we are signing off. Thanks for joining this broadcast, and we'll see you next time.